Welcome to another Jetpack Compose tutorial. In this video, we'll walk you through the essentials of building dynamic and interactive UIs in Jetpack Compose. You'll learn how to add buttons to your app and manage state changes effortlessly with mutable state of. If you're new to Jetpack Compose or want to level up your skills, this video is perfect for you. We'll take a simple birthday greeting app and enhance it by adding a button that changes the greeting text when clicked, all with the magic of state management in Jetpack Compose. If you haven't downloaded Android Studio, I will include the link in the description below so you can download Android Studio for your device. Also, if you want to create your own birthday app, I will also include the tutorial from Android Studio's website so you can create your very own app. Alright, let's get started. Some key topics that are going to be covered are adding buttons, learning how to integrate buttons into your Jetpack Compose UI, handling user interactions, explore how to respond to button clicks and change the UI dynamically, and state management in Compose. Dive into mutable state of and understand how the state is managed to trigger UI updates when necessary. We start by importing the necessary dependencies and setting up the main activity. Importing necessary dependencies ensures access to essential Jetpack Compose components like UI elements and state management tools. Setting up the main activity properly utilizes the app's lifecycle and defines the UI using composable functions instead of traditional XML layouts. This setup allows for dynamic and flexible UI creation with a well-structured framework. Some key libraries that you can use are component activity. This is the base class of your activity when using Jetpack Compose. Mutable state of function to manage state in Compose, triggering recomposition when the state changes. Scaffold column button text UI components from the Material 3 library used to structure the layout. Next, we have the main activity, which is the entry point of the app, where you define the UI that will be rendered using Jetpack Compose. We use setContent to define our greeting screen composable. setContent, this function replaces the traditional XML-based layout inflating method. Instead of referencing a layout file, we directly build our UI using Kotlin code. Scaffold provides a basic layout structure that helps manage UI elements like padding and alignment. In our case, it's used to ensure the greeting and button are properly laid out. Managing state with the greeting screen. How we introduce mutable state of and handling dynamic behavior when the user interacts with the button. The Happy Birthday DAX, the state is remembered across recompositions. When a message changes, Jetpack Compose automatically re-renders the parts of the UI that use this variable. Mutable state of Jetpack Compose uses this to create a state holder. When the state changes, Compose re-executes the composable functions that depend on the state, updating the UI accordingly. Button. The button composable takes an onClick parameter, which is a lambda function triggered when the user clicks on the button. Inside onClick, we modify the state variables message and from, which automatically trigger a recomposition and update the displayed text. Previewing the composable, the greeting view function provides a preview of how the greeting screen will appear. The preview annotation allows us to see live previews of the greeting screen composable directly in the Android Studio preview window. This is very useful for rapid development and debugging UI layouts without needing to compile and run the app on your device. Using the preview annotation, you can come to the split, which is in the top right corner of your Android, in your Android development. And here you have your greeting preview. Let's see if it will load. Waiting for it to load for us. And you see it's previewing our what our app will look like. So it has our Happy Birthday DAX from Dr. G. The explanation of mutable state of and state in composition. State in Jetpack Compose refer to any data that can change over time and affect what is displayed in the UI. The mutable state of function creates a state variable that triggers recomposition when updated. When using remember, Compose remembers the state across recompositions, ensuring the state persists as long as the composable is in memory. State lifecycle. The state persists through recomposition but is reset when the composable is removed from the composition tree. Compose keeps track of which parts of the UI depend on which state and only recomposes those parts when the state changes, leading to efficient UI updates. So let's run the app. Now that our app is opened, this is our view for the app, which looks just like the greeting preview that we created when we talked about earlier. It has our happy birthday and from your friend. Now we can change, now here's our button, change greeting. Once we click on the button, it now updates the screen and says thanks for the wishes from your sender. So thank you for tuning in. We hope this guide helps you understand how easy it is to manage state and handle user interactions with Jetpack Compose. Whether you're building a simple app or something more complex, Compose makes UI development intuitive and flexible. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Jetpack Compose tutorials and development tips.